Hey, today I'm talking about 3 Zachary Levi films, and the names of those 3 films are Apollo 10½, Tangled, and Bloodfest. First up is Apollo 10½, A Space-Age Childhood. This is a 2022 film, live-action / animated film starring Jack Black as the narrator. And the basic premise is it's about this man just reflecting on his childhood, living near NASA during the height of the space race, right around when they're sending the manned missions to the moon. So it's really just like a big nostalgia film. Like, it's really just a slice of life film. Besides like the plot of people are going to the moon, there isn't really an overarching story. It's just a reflection on things that happened in this guy's childhood. Like, it's literally just listing off stuff that happened and people that he knew, and really just like the thinnest little stories of things. It's kind of like a loose leaf memoir, though I don't know if it's actually based on anyone's real life. I would imagine that it's the director's because it's from around his childhood, but I didn't see anything that supported that statement, so I don't know. It's pretty good though. It's the same animation style as A Scanner Darkly, so I believe they filmed it first and they put the filter over the top basically, or something to that extent. And I did honestly like enjoy learning the things about this childhood. Like, it is a fun, interesting, unique thing. Like, it's reminiscent of my childhood, but also it's definitely got its own different shade, so I could still like relate to stuff. It was interesting, it was fun. My main issue is just I just wish there was more of a plot, just because it's like it starts off as like this really silly thing, but then after it kind of gets past that, then it's literally just telling us stuff up until the halfway mark of the movie, and then after the halfway mark it kind of switches more to just watching the Apollo 11 mission, which is interesting, but I just wanted more actual story. That being said, I would still recommend it if it seems interesting to you, because it is definitely an interesting film. I would especially recommend it if you're really into space stuff, or you're really into history stuff, or if you grew up in like the 60s. I'm sure there's lots of like nostalgia-ness that you would really enjoy. So yeah, it's a pretty good film that I quite liked. Next up is Tangled. This is a 2010 film starring Mandy Moore and Zachary Levi. And I have seen this before, but it's been since it was in theaters. I've only seen it once, and I was on a double date, and I remember thinking it was cute back then, and it is still pretty cute. I don't know if the animation super holds up, but I did enjoy it. I liked everyone's charm. Zachary Levi was definitely a good male lead. Mandy Moore did a good job of carrying the film. The stepmother was very wicked and vile, but in a different, more unique way, like backhanded compliments type of thing. So you don't always see her particular style of evilness isn't as common in film, so that was in a sense nice to see. I do want to complain though. Before I complain though, I will say I did enjoy this film. I would recommend it if you've never seen it before. It's a cute, fun little movie. If you have seen it before and it's been a while, it's worth a rewatch. It's pleasant, it's harmless. Okay, but now the complaint. So this is a spoiler for the end, so if you don't want to get spoiled for the end, move along. So at the end of the movie, Rapunzel makes the sacrifice play. Her boyfriend is dying, and her stepmother is going to take her away, lock her into prison for the rest of her life. And Rapunzel says, if you just take me away, I will fight you every single day. But if you let me save my dying boyfriend, I will go willingly and do exactly what you tell me to do. So she's sacrificing her own life to save her boyfriend. Good, dramatic ending, solid. But what ends up happening is that Rapunzel, as she's going to save the boyfriend then cuts off her hair. I don't like that for a myriad of reasons. First off, it takes away from Rapunzel as a character. She needed to make that choice. You could still have it where the boyfriend comes up with the idea of, hey, there's a third option of cutting off your hair, but then she needs to decide that that is the choice that she wants to make. It should not be the boyfriend choosing what to do with her life. Like, she made up her mind. She knew, she basically like chose a prison of her own making, and he decided that his idea was better than anything that she could possibly come up with, so he just did it with zero consent. I hate that. I really truly hate that. Next off, it's a huge deal that he cut off her hair. Like, for us, getting a haircut isn't anything because we get them all the time. Me, every 5 months. But for Rapunzel, she's gotten her hair cut once, and it wasn't even like her entire hair, it was just like a little strand in the back. So for all intents and purposes, she's never gotten her hair cut. So just a regular haircut in general is a huge deal to her. But then on top of it, she treats her hair more like it's a monkey tail, like it's just a regular appendage. We see her several times times throughout the film use her hair like a resource, like to swing across, to grab stuff, to tie things up. Like, this is as much a part of her as her arm is. So for their boyfriend, with zero consent, just rip off her arm, for all intents and purposes, is a huge deal. This isn't a know-nothing thing. Like, yeah, this was the solution to all their problems, but he shouldn't have been the one to do it. It should have been Rapunzel. That just really did not sit well with me. I still did like the film in general. It is cute and fun. And I like the little iguana. He was really cute. The horse was a bit silly for me, but it's whatever. But yeah, still would recommend the movie. It is cute and fun. And I don't think they intended for that to be as awful of a thing as it turned out to be, but it's fine. It's whatever. And lastly is Bloodfest. This is a 2018 horror movie produced by Rooster Teeth, who I used to be a big fan of, but am definitely not anymore. If you're familiar with them, it's when Bernie left is when I stopped watching. I was kind of on my way out the door, but then his departure was kind of the nail in the coffin of like, yeah, no, I'm done with this. I still like Gavin and Gus, but I'm just kind of moved on in my life. So the basic premise is there is this horror festival that's happening, and wouldn't you know it, they lock the doors and then kill everyone inside to make a cool movie. So I went into this with very low expectations. I didn't really want to watch this movie. I had a feeling it wasn't going to be good, and like immediately it was just like bad acting, bad cinematography, bad lighting. The premise is fine, I guess, but like even the kills were dumb and I just didn't care for them, and there's like everything about this movie just compiled into just like a terrible experience. So yeah, it was too dumb for me. I just couldn't with it. And even my brother, who does like really dumb horror films and does like this one, admits that the other film that came out at the same time as this, that has the same presence, Hellfest, is a better film. So yes, it's safe to say that both of us don't recommend this film. It's trash. Alrighty, now for today's ranking. First up, we got Apollo 10.5, A Space Age Childhood, sitting number 38 in the quite like section. And then not too terribly far behind is Tangled, sitting number 43, also in the quite like section. And then bringing up the rear, rightfully fucking so, is Bloodfest, sitting at number 76 in the didn't like category. And this is out of a total of 78 old films so far this year.